All right, let's dive right in. Today we're talking about something fascinating, the invisible rulebook that keeps a whole society running. We're going to explore Nigeria's national values, basically the official guide to what it means to be a good citizen.
You know, it really all starts with a pretty simple question. Why are some things celebrated in a community while other things are frowned upon? What are these unwritten rules that seem to guide how we all interact with each other every single day? Well, the answer is this powerful idea that shapes everything: national values.
And this is a fantastic way to picture it. Think about a huge, busy motor park. For it to work at all, without complete chaos, everyone has to follow some basic rules, right? Well, that's exactly what national values are for a whole country. They're the shared understanding that stops everything from grinding to a halt. So what even is a value? It sounds like a big, abstract word. Let's break it down and see how this huge concept actually shows up in the small things we do every single day.
Okay, so here's the textbook definition. Values are the principles or standards that guide us. They're basically the things a society agrees are really important for everyone to live together peacefully. But, a definition is one thing. Seeing it in action is what really matters.
And this is exactly it. This is where a big idea like honesty becomes something you can actually see and do. It's not just a word. It's that simple decision to give the pineapple seller her extra change back, especially when nobody would know if you didn't. That one little action, it builds trust across the whole community. Right, so these actions, they don't just happen in a bubble. They actually work on two different levels, starting with one person's choice and scaling all the way up to how a whole society behaves. Let's take a look at how that works. So on the one hand, you've got the individual level. This is where values guide your personal choices. Look at Zara, for example. Her value of kindness becomes a real action when she helps her grandmother with those heavy baskets. Simple enough. But when lots of people share that same kind of value, you get something bigger. Action on a societal level. Think about a big Salah celebration. When everyone acts with unity and respect, the whole event is joyful and runs smoothly for the entire community. One person's kindness grows into a community's cooperation. See how that works?
So, why does all this matter so much? I mean, what really happens if a society doesn't have these shared rules? Well, it's the difference between a place that works and one that just falls into total chaos.
Here's a great analogy. Think of values as the engine oil for society. Seriously, without oil, an engine is just a bunch of metal parts grinding against each other until it breaks down. It's all friction. In the same way, without values like fairness and cooperation, society just creates friction and breaks down. Values are what keep things running smoothly. And what does that breakdown look like in real life? Oh, it's chaos. Just picture this. A public bus driver, a Donfo driver, who has zero respect for anyone else on the road. He's driving like a maniac, causing accidents, traffic jams, and just total confusion for everyone. That right there is a society without shared values in action. It's pure chaos. Now, let's flip that image. Imagine the opposite. Imagine the road where all the drivers share a value of respect. Respect for the traffic laws, for pedestrians, for each other. What happens? The road just flows. Everyone gets where they need to go, safely and without stress. That is harmony, and it's built completely on that foundation of shared values. Okay, so if these values are like the engine oil, the next logical question is, how do we keep the tank full? How do we keep them strong? Well, it turns out there are four key things, four pillars that are absolutely essential. Maintaining these values isn't automatic. It takes real effort, and it's built on these four pillars. First up is consistency. This means always being respectful to elders, not just when someone important is watching. That consistency helps build the second pillar, trust. This is that belief that your friend is actually going to return the textbook you lent them. And that trust makes the third pillar possible, tolerance, which is all about respecting different viewpoints peacefully, even when you don't agree. And holding it all together is the fourth pillar, integrity. That's doing the right thing, like returning a lost wallet full of cash when you know for a fact nobody is looking. So, let's just quickly recap the big takeaways here. National values are pretty much the essential guidelines that help a society work without falling apart. They start with small, individual actions, but they scale all the way up to define how an entire community interacts. And finally, everything rests on those key pillars: trust, consistency, tolerance, and integrity to keep the whole system strong. And that really leaves us with one final thought for you to take away. Values are absolutely everywhere, from the chaos of a reckless driver to the beautiful harmony of a community celebration. So now that you know what you're looking for, What values do you see in action around you today?